Race number 17 of the Samsung IndyCar Series season heads to Road America in Elkhart, Wisconsin for the Firestone Grand Prix. Two Team Penske Chevrolets have claimed the front row here for this race. Anthony Fox on pole, his teammate Zidell to the outside in second. Then third place it's Noggin Scott, fourth it's Zachary Fitzwater Sr., ranking the top five Kai Xander in the 28 car. Then sixth is the 77 Oliver Evans. Seventh place we have Jake Galloway, winner at Mid-Ohio, and the points leader coming into this race. Eighth place for Brandon Grenier. In ninth it's Kashawn Richardson, and Anthony Hernandez, the 66, rounds out the top 10. Rest of the field, there's Dylan Trasty, who's out to the 5 of Brandon Beal, along with the 12 of Bronson Minnick, and the 14 of Max Rossi. Then Casey Nanico in second in points. Colucci comes in 2 points behind Galloway in the points lead. They have Riley Sprotube and Riley Sampson the 10, with Sebastian Kukulon and John Smith in the 23, along with Marshall Burrow and Mark Silas the 27 car, with the 2 of Luke Rainey and the 21 of Christian Richardson. We have Jose Mills and Jonathan Rains the 15, with John Gilbert and Anthony Rodriguez. Then we have Jay Brando and Anthony Lehman, with Christian Vargas comes in third in points, Trey Wright to his inside, along with Trey Rainey and Ryan Brommer, and final row Tyler Fink and Carter Freeze in 35th and 36th. There is our 36-car field for road racing and race number 17 of 20 in the Samsung IndyCar Series. Let's go on trackside and fire these engines up for the Grand Prix, Firestone Grand Prix at Road America.
Drivers, start your engine!
36 cars rolling off the starting grid to take the green flag. Team Penske will lead them there as Fox and Zidell start on the front row. The championships, both drivers and owners, pretty close with 4 races remaining in the season. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, Jake Galloway has that by 2 points over Colucci and 4 points over Christian Vargas. About 9 drivers come in within 100 points of the points. In terms of the Owners' Championship, very close over there as well. About 6 teams with a shot there, as Andretti Autosport and Chip Ganassi Racing come in tied for the top spot. But just behind them, you have Dale Earnhardt Racing, Team Penske, Ed Carpenter Racing, and Carlin as well is closing in. Go about 6 laps on fuel here, so everyone will have to make a pit stop at some point. 8 laps in the Firestone Grand Prix at Road America. Come to the green flag. Fox and Zidell side by side. Green flag racing at Road America. We had some 3 wide early on. They backed out, but back down to 2 wide. Some cars get into the grass off that corner. And as they race down this long straightaway, Team Penske side by side. Fox inching ahead of Zidell as they enter now this long straightaway. Off to now a hard corner right here. Fox on the inside, Zidell on the outside. Zidell a little wide, but gets into the gas sooner than the 22 of Fox. They're still side by side up the hill into this left-hander. And still side by side. No one getting the advantage quite yet. Zidell now on the inside of that corner. He'll take it away from his teammate Fox, who slides twice. So Zidell to the front on lap number 1. He starts second in this race. Fitzwater looks for P2. And Fitzwater for Dale Earnhardt Racing right now wanting to get ahead of Brandon Grenier. Grenier starts 7th. He's up to 4th already. So Fitzwater's trying to get away. He knows that that's a point right there for in favor of Dale Earnhardt Racing. But look at right here, this is not going to be a good corner for him. He's on the inside through this kink. He has to let off, and Fox gets away, and that hurts the 19. Here comes with a hard run on the outside. Oliver Evans through to 4th, or excuse me, to 3rd. Hernandez to 4th. Noggin Scott looking for 5th on Fitzwater and Grenier, so the 25th also held up because of the 19. Noggin Scott 30 out wide. He started 3rd in this race. He's back outside the top 5 early on. All the way gone, though, is Justin Zidell. He's pulled away to a huge gap over teammate Anthony Fox as he comes off the final corner up the hill. Battle for second is on. Oliver Evans looked on Fox but could not get off the corner well. 22 pulls back ahead. Now Anthony Rizk have a shot for 3rd on that 77 of Evans, who stays down to the inside. He's got a lot of 6-6 on the outside down the straightaway. Lap 1 completed. It's Justin Zidell out front. How about Fitzwater going low in the draft, looking 3 wide for P3. Evans blocks him off. Anthony Hernandez trying to get the run to the top side, but Oliver still down there. Here comes Fitzwater now for 4th as the 77 gets away. Fitzwater couldn't get through the corner well. He'll drop back in 5th. Evans sideways with Hernandez. They're still side by side, the 66. I think he's clear for third. So the front two are gone. It's Team Penske leading. A huge battle third on back. Hernandez, Evans, Fitzwater. Then there's Grenier up to 6th, with Scott back to 7th. Xander's now 8th. Brandon Beal 9th. Jake Galloway is currently inside the top 10. Battling for 10th with Dylan Trieste in the 98. That's 10th and 11th on the racetrack. And Galloway now back to 11th as Trieste moves to 10th. Here comes Bronson Mick through the field, trying to join his two teammates at the front. And just behind Jake Galloway, there is Cole Luigi, came in 2 points behind second in the point standings. He's inside the top 15, but he needs to get up there and get by that 88. Once again, we will have pit stops and pit strategy that will play into this race for sure. Cole Luigi's teammate not far behind him. That's Riley Sampson, the 10. Chip Ganassi Racing right now, both their cars inside the top 20. And Luigi battling John Smith now, but this kink right here, that's going to hurt the 23. Luigi's going to keep that spot, looks like, for now. Oh, close there with the 10, the 23. They got sideways through the kink. They control their cars, though. At the front, Kai Xander looking on Noggin Scott for 7th. Grenier's gotten away from the 30. And up for 2nd, Hernandez has closed down Anthony Fox as the 3 pulls away Justin Zeidel in the top spot. And if we don't get yellow flag, this 3 car will win, depending on pit strategy. That's a nice corner for Anthony Fox right there. He kept the 66 at bay. If he went wide through that corner, 66 would have been able to pounce, but he's still with a nice run here down the straightaway. Yeah, in that draft down this long front straightaway, you gain a ton of time if you stay right up tucked behind the guy in the draft. There you see Hernandez now with the run. He's got to peak low to the inside to turn number 1. There goes Hernandez inside Anthony Fox, but the 22 slides down front, shuts the door, and he keeps that spot for now. Hernandez still 3rd, Evans still 4th, Fitzwater 5th. Most of the front 10 single file or first battle, prize battle, as it's now not a battle. Brandon Beal holds off Dylan Trieste, who got wide, and here comes Jake Galloway to run the 88. So now Galloway looking it back up inside the top 10 for Harding Steinbrenner Racing. He moves up to 10th by Dylan Trieste, who went wide through turn number 3. And here comes Bronson Mick now looking for 11th on Trieste, but 98 not giving up with the 88 for now. They're still wheel-to-wheel, almost contact, man, as Galloway got loose off the corner. The 88, though, still hanging tough. The 98 cannot get by as Galloway keeping it for now. He'll actually clear the 98 through that corner. So Jake Galloway up to 10th, move Trieste back to 11th. Colucci is still 14th. So he's trying to come forward. He sees up in front of him Max Rossi, the 14, Vargas' teammate. Battle for 8th is on. Noggin Scott, the racetrack. Here comes Brandon Beal, the 5 over the back. Up in front of them. This battle for a podium, P3. Hernandez in front of Oliver Evans, the 77 car. And then just behind that's the battle for 8th. Noggin Scott holding off Brandon Beal for now. Beal's going to want to try and find a way around that number 30 car. Scott through that corner nicely. Beal lower. He got a nice run off that corner on exit. And up front here for 2nd. Hernandez over the back of Fox again. We'll see what happens into the final corner. Both get down to the bottom nicely. Zeidel going to be the first to hit pit road. So how about this? Zeidel, an undercut from the race league. Fitzwater will come in as well. That's a bold strategy. Come around to 5 to go right here. So they've taken 5 to go. And you can go about 6 laps on field. That's going to be questionable now for these drivers. Will they have enough fuel to make it? Fox takes the lead. He'll lead the lap for 5 bonus points. Hernandez to the inside. He wants it now into turn number 1. So how about the pit strategy? Now 3 cars battle for the top spot. Fox, Hernandez, Oliver Evans. Now Evans goes wide. Fox pulls away from Hernandez, who pulls away from Oliver Evans. Look at the cars on pit road. Trey, Rainey. The Raineys are both on. Lehman and Gilbert, Burrow, Sampson, Beal, Richardson, Galloway, Fitzwater, and then, of course, Justin Zeidel. Now, the strategy for these drivers, they're going to take fuel only on this pit stop, while drivers who pit later might have to take tires if they think they've worn enough. So it's going to be a whole mishmash of cars on different pit strategies. We're going to see drivers pit that lap with 5 to go. We're going to see some pit here with 4 to go, and possibly some stretch to 3 to go. And I think Hernandez is just a little bit faster than that 22, but can't find a way around him. Oh, he slides through that corner. He cleared the tires of those Firestone, squealing as he went through the corner. He lost all the ground he had gained to the 22, right back down to the back of the 77. And Grenier's lost some time. There's Colucci's on the strategy of staying out. Same with the 4 Vargas. Way back. And so these drivers right here, it's going to be a big question now. Are they going to come in and just take fuel only and try and leapfrog, or will they take some Firestones and maybe try and leapfrog in terms of later in the running? See, Hernandez, once again, another great exit to that corner. He pulls right with that 22. can see how aggressive he is through these corners, getting up onto the rumble strips. So Fox looking low as if he's going to come down pit road this time, and there he goes. Front three are in. Fox the first, leading them down. Everyone else coming down, coming to four to go. This is that halfway. They're ensuring that they can make it on field from here. The drivers who pitted sooner will be questionable if they can go all 5 laps on a tank of fuel, considering they only went 4. Or they technically only went 3, so that's going to be interesting. There's Zaydel hard on the gas, entering the final corner. Fox came in first of all these drivers. Hernandez first into his pit stall, and he's going to take 2 Firestones. And so is Anthony Fox. Is anyone in this group just going to take fuel only and try and leapfrog? So Zaydel's going to go around because he took fuel only, remember. So he's up to speed. There goes Fox with his 2 tires. Zaydel, there he goes on no tires. Fox on 2. Fitzwater going to leapfrog. Brandon Beal up. Where's Jake Gowie? Comes into the points there. He's going to leapfrog some drivers. So the first one off pit road with tires, it's going to be Anthony Fox. He comes out ahead of Jake Gowie and some others. He is the first car off with 2 tires. Will the 2 Firestones be able to make up the difference to the 3 of Justin Zaydel, or do these drivers up here not have enough fuel to come around and finish it? Will they have to come down pit road again? Will that allow maybe the 22 and others? This could be the battle for lead with the 22 and the 66 if these drivers don't have the fuel to make it. Cole Luigi may have lost some ground as the 10 is ahead of him. 7 as well, just passed him because Sean Richardson. Remember, the drivers that maybe are ahead of him came down pit road a lap sooner and just took fuel only. Oliver Evans wide, Brandon Grenier trying to gain in the 25 on that 77. But up at the front, it is all the 3 of Justin Zaydel. Coming around to 3 to go. He's gotten a wheel off into the grass, but he just kind of held it there. He didn't go too farther out. He just kind of feathered the gas to make sure he didn't go all the way out. Here's a battle. Jake Gowie again by Anthony as the 66. So Gowie a spot further forward, but the 66 fighting back, keeping on the inside to the king. This could be bad for the 88. Jake Gowie. There it is. He had to let off the gas. He's going to lose all sorts of time. It's so hard to go through there side by side. The guy on the inside's going to be the one to let off unless you want to go in there and wreck it. So this will be interesting to see how this pit strategy plays out. And if these drivers who took fuel only and pitted 1 lap sooner come around to 3 to go, if they could go the distance on fuel, and if the tires that Anthony Fox, Anthony Ness, and the others took will play an issue into it. So there's Zaydel coming around 3 to go. He reclaims the lead that he had. So Zaydel back out front in the Firestone Grand Prix. Second place is Zachary Fitzwater Sr. Brandon Beal is 3rd. 4th is Anthony Fox, the highest driver on tires. And then Hernandez is 5th. Jake Gowie is 6th. Kai Alexander is 7th. For 8th, Riley Sampson and Oliver Evans go side by side. 10th is Sean Richardson. Brandon Grenier 11th. Brunson make 12th. Battle for 13th. Cole Luigi to the inside of him. Anthony Lehman. So actually, Code gained spots because he came in 14th. Although he might lose that 14th spot to right here at the 63 of Lehman. Some drivers are able to hold it tight there and make that guy on the inside have to lift out the gas. Right there, I don't think Code was close enough to make that happen, actually. But they stay side by side. This is going to allow back here Marshall Burrow to really try and leapfrog right here. Gain 2 spots in the draft. He has a nice run going to these drivers. Where's he going to go with it? Is he going to go 3 wide? He's looking 3 wide, but he's going to think better of it. He's going to give the 9 the spot, the room. And I think Lehman's going to take the 14th or the 13th spot from Code. There's Code back to 14th now. Gowie a little wide right there from 6th position. A little bit of a weird entry to that corner there. So up front, Team Penske, and then Dale Corn Racing, Aaron Schmidt-Peterson, another Team Penske car, McLaren, Harding Steinbrenner, there's the first Andretti car in 7th, and then just behind them is Riley Sampson. You gotta know with Riley Sampson right here, if he can push it, if he knows he has the field to make it, he is gonna be pushing it hard because the highest Andretti car is right now 7th. If the 10 passes to the 28 and stays ahead, then Chip Ganassi Racing could possibly move into the Owners' Championship points lead. That's, oh, there we go. 3 cannot make it. The front 3 cannot make it on field. They did not have the fuel to make it. So now Anthony Fox, pit at halfway. He comes off the corner with 2 tires, and that means Jake Gowie can't make it as well. So terrible, terrible luck there. Our points leader now on the pit road on the wrong pit strategy. Now with 2 to go, the question is, can these drivers make it on fuel? And remember, they pitted at halfway. They came down pit road basically at halfway. And if those drivers coming down there, the odds would say, but remember, these drivers took 2 tires, so they put more fuel in the car. This could be Anthony Fox's race to lose. Now Team Penske's out front again. Penske's basically at every lap this race with Zeidel and Fox. Anthony Hernandez is right now second. Then you have Andretti in third. So right now Andretti Osborne going to pick up some nice chunk of change onto Chip Ganassi Racing, whose highest car is right now Cole Luigi, who's just ahead of John Smith. Yeah, but I have to believe that Team Penske right now, they're getting 50 points, right? That's 25 more points than Andretti Autosport. Team Penske's going to be right in the thick of it. But now, do these drivers have the fuel to last it? Has anyone pushed it too hard to maybe where they don't have the fuel to make it to the end? And can Anthony Hernandez try and close in on the other Anthony Fox, who has never won a race on this channel, but he is the Gatorade Cup Series Season 10 champion. He knows what it's like to be in stressful situations. And look at all the drivers who had to come down pit lane. Rodriguez, Trey Rainey, John Gilbert, Marshall Burrow, Jake Galloway, our points leader. Anthony Lehman, Sean Richardson, there's Riley Sampson, there's Fitzwater, and there's Ed Jones at the back of the field along with Brandon Beal. They're going to try and get away and get through some of these guys in case these drivers don't have the field to make it to the end. But we're coming to the white flag in the Firestone Grand Prix. Anthony Fox out front. He goes wide through the final corner. He's staying on the racetrack. Hernandez is right now second. Here's the battle for third. Kai Xander and Oliver Evans looking side by side. Grenier with Bronson Mick behind. Cole Luigi going to stay out. So these drivers are banking that they have the field to make it. Luke Rainey going to pit. He was one of those drivers that came in with the drivers that came down pit road last lap. And he stayed out a lap later. How about that? So white flag is out. Anthony Fox on the final lap. Anthony Hernandez right now in second. Can the 66 close in? Does anyone stumble on the fuel to try and make it back around? This is a nice battle for a podium right here. Kai Xander has it. Oliver Evans wants it. Here's a nice battle for a top 5. Bronson Minnick and Brandon Grenier. Minnick wants it for Grenier. They're trying to race side by side down the straightaway. But the 25 off the corner, a little bit better than the 12. I think he's going to hold that position for now. He blocks him entering the corner. Look at the 12 over the back. Look into the inside here. The 25 could not get off the corner well. Minnick again trying to get there. Couldn't. How about Coluigi? On the right strategy. The team did it right. He's up to 10th. He's going to gain the points lead as long as everything goes right in this final lap. Anthony Fox conservative through these corners right here. He wants to make sure he can make it to the checkered flag and not crash his race car. As long as he can just make it around, I think he has it. Hernandez is too far back to make a move. The gap at the start-finish line was 1.35. I'm sure it's closed down a little bit, but I still think this 22 just has it as long as he just coasted around. Final set of corners for Anthony Fox. He and his teammate Justin Zeidel have been the dominators. They've run 1-2, first or second, pretty much most race. But when Zeidel to come down pit road, an extra time, it hurt any chance of getting to victory lane, and has allowed his teammate to come through and get to victory lane off the final corner. Anthony Fox will have to come down pit lane. He didn't have the fuel to make it, and that's going to be Anthony Hernandez's race to the checkered flag. Hernandez and Fox on pit road. Anthony Hernandez wins at Road America. Oh my Lord, can you believe it? Can you believe it? Fox didn't have the fuel to make it. Anthony Hernandez did. He wins at Road America. And those points that we thought that Team Penske would gain on Andretti did not happen. But McLaren Racing wins a second race in the season. Hernandez has won again at Road America. Coluigi comes across in 7th. The 22 of Fox, no fuel to make it to the end. Trey Rainey back on pit road, maybe it's an issue there. Galloway points are coming in, finishes 31st. And Andretti Autosport pulls back away with a runner-up here today at Road America. Let's go see the finish results in the point standings after a crazy race here in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Here are the finish results from the Firestone Grand Prix at Road America. No caution flags today, but 4 lead changes, 3 different drivers due to the pit strategy led a lap here today. Winning the race at the end, Anthony Hernandez played the strategy right, had the field to make it to the end. Hernandez wins the second race of the season for McLaren Racing. Logan York, his team owner, has to be thrilled with that performance. Second place for Kai Alexander, even though it wasn't a win, still great points for Andretti Autosport. They are now back on top with sole possession. This is kind of how it is with Andretti Autosport. They have great days like this. 4 of their cars placed inside the top 10, but then they have days where all their drivers stumble and they get single-digit points, and other teams that are up towards the top get great points. So Andretti, this is one of their days where they did really, really well, but they've been so inconsistent this season. That's what's kind of hurt them. Third place for Oliver Evans, Anthony Fox, the heartbreak of the race. He's still not won a race on this channel. He led 3 laps, led off the final corner. The car stumbled and had to come down pit road. He ends up in 4th, and Brandon Grenier in 5th. Bronson Minnick in 6th, so Team Penske brought some cars, but none of them were able to win the race. Cole Luigi gains the points with a 7th place finisher today. John Smith 8th, Mark Silas 9th, and Dylan Trieste rounds out the top 10. As you see right there, 4 Andretti cars inside the top 10. Noggin Scott ends up in 11th, Casey Nackle 12th, 13th Christian Richardson, 14th Jonathan Rains, 15th Sebastian Kukulon. Trey Wright, Brett Sierra, definitely thrilled with that performance, probably 16th. Once again, Sierra the new team owner. 17th for Max Rossi, Tyler Fink 18th, Christian Vargas 19th, and Carter Friesen rounds out the top 20. Then 21st for Jay Randall, Ryan Brommer, the only Andretti car to not finish inside the top 10. He gets 22nd. Jose Mills 23rd, Riley Spurgeon 24th, and the wrong strategy for Justin Zaidel, who gets 25th after leading 4 laps. So anyone, he had to come down pit road twice during the race, as most others had to come down once. That's what hurt Zaidel at the end. Brandon Beal on the same strategy in 26th, Fitzwater 27th, Riley Sampson 28th, Kashan Richardson 29th, and 30th for the 63 of Anthony Lehman. 31st, Jake Gowey came in as the points and only 2 points up on Cole Luigi, but a bad pit strategy day for the 88. Jake Gowey puts him back in the running order. The 2 Giant Rainbow cars run the same strategy. Marshall Road, John Gilbert, they fall finish 32nd, 33rd. Luke Rain 34th, 35th, Anthony Rodriguez, and Trey Rainey, a bad day for him, in 36th. Let's go see the point standings. We have 3 races remaining in the Samsung IndyCar Series season. Here are the point standings, 3 races remaining in the Samsung IndyCar Series season. It is Cole Luigi on top of the points for the first time this season. He has a 42-point gap over Christian Vargas, who came in third. He's now second, but he came in 4 points behind. He's now 42 points behind. Third is now Brandon Grenier, 58 points behind. Jake Gowey falls to 74 points behind in 4th, and Ryan Brommer now 5th, 87 back. John Smith is 6th, he's 89 back. 7th for Jay Rando, 8th for Carter Friesen, 9th Anthony Lehman, and Bronson Minnick rounds out the top 10, the 12 car. 11th for Riley Sampson, 12th Casey Nackle, 13th Anthony Dennis, his second win of the season, moves him up. 14th Dylan Trieste, 15th Mark Silas, Justin Zaidel 16th, Anthony Fox 17th, Kai Alexander 18th, Kashan Richardson 19th, and Tyler Fink rounding out the top 20. So still 6 drivers within 100 points of the points lead, as Cole Luigi is still not solidly in championship position. Right now, obviously, it's the best place you could be in the points lead, but the last few races, we've seen the points leader get snake bitten, so maybe it's a curse to be up there, and it might come down to whoever's second heading into the final race of the season. We have 3 crazy racetracks, there's 3 crazy races remaining in the season, so nothing is set in stone yet. And one of maybe the most impressive kind of performances this season is John Smith in the 23 car. He's currently 6th in points. He has 0 top 5s, 7 top 10s though. He's been inside the top 10 a lot. He has not led a single lap this season though. He's the highest in points without a lap led. That is insane how he has not led at least 1 lap this season. We've seen so many drivers lead laps and he has not led a single one. He's the only driver to not lead a lap this season. 21st for Christian Richardson, Riley Spurgeon now 22nd, Noggin Scott 23rd, Jonathan Rains 24th, 25th Brandon Beal, Trey Wright 26th, Oliver Evans 27th, Trey Rainey 28th, 29th Marshall Burrow, Anthony Rodriguez 30th, 31st John Gilbert, Luke Rainey 32nd, 33rd Sebastian Kukulon, 34th Zachary Fitzwater Sr., Max Rossi 35th, and 36th for Jose Mills. Top right, the owners point to Andretti Autosport now back on top, as Team Penske got to try and close back in, Chip Ganassi Racing got to try and close back in, Dale Quinn Racing, all these other teams that maybe thought that they were close, and then they kind of faded there late, and there was especially Team Penske, who thought that they were going to win the race with 2 different drivers. Zaidel, and then he had to come down pit road, and then they had Fox, and then he had to come down pit road on the last lap. So that's how both those points look heading into the final 3 races of the season. We're going over racing once again as we go to the Chicagoland Speedway for the Gatorade 350. I will see you guys then.